Okay, ladies, there's a sight for a morning, isn't it? Me with my lovely slopey shoulders. I don't care, just got out of the shower. And I thought I'd jump on before the new year and before all of that and just clear the decks a little bit. So various things that are on my mind, things that have been going on. We've had a great Christmas. I haven't gone out much, or mind, I don't go out, as you know. And for some of the wonders how on earth I do, because I've had a few comments, how on earth do you do all the shopping? I go out once or twice a week with my husband because he is my safety person, and we'll hit a couple of shops because they're all together. But that's it, I don't go shopping on my own. And the rest of the stuff is online and internet. But I mean, most things are sort of online now, aren't they? We have a tiny little Next in the village nearest to us, not village, town nearest to us. Sorry, I'm rubbing some cream on. And we have a tiny little Marks and Spencer's. So I go in there, I sometimes get ideas, but whether they've got my size is always another thing. And then you go on the website and there's like 3 million options. So most of it is online, but I think most shops are moving that way, don't you? I think the days of going shopping in town, I miss Cardiff. I do miss Cardiff. You could go shopping in Cardiff and buy all sorts, and I do miss that. But living in rural, it's one of those things. So yeah, most of my stuff is online. And you know, maybe I'm unlucky, but I can order 10 things and keep one. As you'll probably see, I've got a video that I was going to put up and I hadn't. I did it something like the 3rd or 4th of December and just didn't find a chance to put it up, and it's a kaleidoscope haul. You'll see, dreadful. Just going to put some serum on. I'm still using my Avant. I absolutely love it. I am going to sort some of the new things into my routine because this is beginning to run low, and I won't buy more. I'll use what I've got. What was I saying? Oh, the box. Oh, somebody asked about the Snag tights. Fabulous. The best tights I've had in years. They seem really long wearing as well, the opaque ones. They don't seem to scag and get nasty. But the only thing is, I found, sorry, let me get this on my face. The only thing I found is make sure your knickers are close fitting. Because I wore them the one day with a very comfy, baggy, you know, elastic, a bit wobbly. And what happened while I was doing things was my tights stayed up beautifully, but my pants went down inside the tight. You'd have laughed. I had this sort of like a shelf of fabric underneath my buttocks because I was wearing a dress as well, so I couldn't just sort of sneak my hand down my waistband and pull my pants up. So that's the only thing I would say. I do check what pants I'm wearing. I don't wear my really comfy ones. I make sure that they're ones with a decent bit of elastic. But other than that, I think the Snag tights are fabulous. And of course, if you don't wear pants, because apparently you're not supposed to wear pants with tights, but I feel the need. If you don't wear pants, then, you know, that wouldn't be an issue anyway, would it? Where's my, I'm trying to find my face cream now. So that was the, sorry, I'm not very good at this, am I? That was the Avant hydrolyzed collagen lecithin erythritol retinol nucleic serum. I'm trying to find my moisturiser. They all look the same. Yeah, that's the moisture. The only way I get around it, can you see, I put some nail varnish on the corner of the serum, and I should do something similar for the moisturiser, which is a hyaluronic vitamin C, again lecithin, whatever that is, Maris Aqua Jojoba oil. But I'm enjoying it. What was I saying? Oh my god, I don't know, I've lost the plot, don't I, when I'm doing this. I want to address the elephant in the room, which is the comments and what went down with regards to the advent calendars and all of that, okay? And I'm just going to do it really quickly. When I got those advent calendars, I was absolutely blown away that my husband had done something like that, and I gave it no more thought than, ooh, yippee. Now, some of you ladies, classy ladies that you are, got on email and emailed me and said, Fawn, I think maybe you shouldn't do that right now because of XYZ. And those ladies that did that, I was able to have a conversation with them, email exchange, nice email exchange, and say, do you know what? I didn't even think about it. It didn't cross my mind. And that is my failing, okay? That is my failing. I was just so excited. I gave no thought to how it might make other people feel. And that is inconsiderate on my part. And I said to them, you know, rest assured, it won't happen again. I'm going to have a look at this and, you know, and it won't happen again. And I appreciate that. I've always said that I consider you guys to be my friends, not, you know, not just subscribers. So I appreciated that, and there was no bad feeling. I've never been that kind of person. I made a mistake by name dropping, name checking, something. I said someone's name, didn't I, about a comment, and I shouldn't have done it, and that lady was upset with me as well. And I can't blame her. It just didn't occur to me. I was just like, Unfortunately, with me, what you see is what you get. The mouth goes first. And even though I edit this, I still don't think, ooh. And that caused a lot of fury. The lady was very upset with me. And I can only apologise. I didn't intend anything horrid. I was trying to laugh off a comment. And it was a mistake on my part once again. And then someone on my channel very kindly said, something about tattle, something about, you know, not so bad on tattle or something. I'd never heard of tattle. And I said to my daughter, what's tattle? And my daughter said, don't look. Don't go there, don't look, don't get involved. You're too soppy to be. But a bit like Pandora's box. It preyed on me and preyed on me until I went and looked. So hello to my tattle friends too, who like to say things that are maybe a bit unfair. It is their viewpoint and they are entitled to it. And but it upset me. It did upset me. I went on there and I just thought, oh God, really, that's what they think of me? Oh God. And because of the, not just because, so I'm not doing the pity me, but you know, because I do have an anxiety disorder and social anxiety, etc. It did prey on my mind. I mean, I found myself going on there, you know, 8, 9, 10 times, and just reading and rereading and seeing what have they said next. Now some of it is fair enough, you know, they think I spend too much, they think I shop too much, they think I'm all about the money. That's a question of opinion, isn't it? It's personal opinion, and if you think I shop too much, I probably do. I'm not going to stop, but I probably do. But some others say things like, you know, she's a old, large woman who, you know, yes, I'm old. Yep, I'm large. I can't even deny that one. I should get a personal trainer. Chance to be a fine thing out in the boonies like I am. I did have one years and years and years ago, but didn't go very well. I ended up with a torn rotator cuff. I'm trying to think some of the other things. Just, you know, bits and pieces. It's fine. I've come on here and naively thought at 53 that the days of school ground sort of bullying and comments and snidey were gone. It didn't even occur to me. That's how stupid I am and naive. I realise now it does, and I put myself out here, so I can't complain. You know, I am a large lady. You know, there's no point in me being upset about it. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? I would ask my tattle ladies to please leave my husband alone, okay? I don't need a young person to come here and shag a smile onto my face. I'm perfectly happy with my husband. My husband, I've been with him 20 years, more than 20 years. If I was with him for his money, which is one of the things that's been suggested, I don't think I've been with him 20 years. It's hurtful to do that to somebody who doesn't appear on my channel. So feel free, tattle will go mad after this goes out, and I'm sure it'll all be, God, did you see the state of that lump sat there saying this, that, I'm sure it'll be horrid, and that's fine, because here I am. I can't defend myself. I am here, I am horrid, I am a lump in front of the telly. But my husband isn't, so And as to if I would stop spending, he could retire, I did tell him that, and he absolutely thought that was the funniest thing he'd heard in ages, because actually it's been a bone of contention between us. My husband is a workaholic. Love him dearly, and I just have to swallow the fact that he is a workaholic. And actually we've had more fights about me wanting him to retire than anything else. That is the biggest, if you had to name one thing that causes trouble between me and my husband, it would be the fact that I constantly say things like, well, why don't you stay home? Yeah. So, but yeah, to the ladies that really are genuine and like me, please don't hesitate to write emails and tell me when I've got it wrong, because, you know, some of you did, and I appreciate that. I've said from the beginning, from the very first day of my channel, I appreciate constructive criticism. I have no issues with that. I might disagree, but I have no issues with it, you know, and some of you did, and I totally got it, because I was really thoughtless going in. I've got 4K, you know. It wasn't nice. And of course it was really bad timing, because I'd showed you my Louis Vuitton the day before, which is just like, why did that not occur to me? I tend to sort of blob along, you know, slice of cake in one hand, you know, thoughtlessness in the other. People had asked to see bags, and I thought it would be nice to do, but taking the two together, not a good idea. And so I completely understand and endorse. So plans for next year, I mean, at the moment I'm going to do my 10, I decided to do 10 prize winners. Can you believe there was that much stuff? Like, isn't that awful? My husband knows, he thinks it's great, he's perfectly happy. Oh, and as for somebody who said, why don't I do things for women's refuge and things, I do. That's all I can say. I don't come on here and virtue signal. I don't come on here and go, I support this and I do that. I'm not going to. But can I just say, okay, there were kids that got presents that could, no. I was just about to sort of go into all of the things I did, and I'm not going to do it. I know, okay, I know that I do think of others, and I do actively support various things, so I'm going to leave it at that, because again it just sounds awful, and I know that whatever I say on here, someone's going to twist it and turn it into something else. But as for next year, because I didn't want to do, I'm not doing resolutions or revolutions as we always call them in this house. I'm not going to do any. Oh, I'm sitting here talking, I've stopped doing it. This is that Perfecting Tint SPF Medium by Monuskin, and I use it on days when I'm not really going anywhere or doing anything. It just gives me a little bit of colour, because I don't know, I'm quite white, I'm quite a white person. And look how dark it is. When I first put it on, I always think, oh, but it's actually very nice. What was I going to say? Yeah, next year I'm going to try and sort of cut back a bit, so I'm not going to do as much as I was doing, because to do that much you need to shop that much, you need to have something to show and say, so it kind of was fueling itself by being on so much. It was kind of fueling itself, so I'm going to try and do less videos next year, and I'm also going to try and do more about the animals, more about the gardens, what I do in the gardens, and things like that. I can't really do holidays and things like, because I don't go on holidays. You know, my agoraphobia, my anxiety disorder means I don't and can't. Somebody said she's trying to make herself happy through boxes, and I thought, okay. There's a little bit of truth in that, I'm not going to deny it, okay? It makes me very sad that I can't travel. The agoraphobia, the anxiety is very hard. And there are days when just getting out of bed is victory. And there'll be a lot of people out there who will actually understand what I'm talking about. And this is not pity me. This is not a pity party. I'm not whining. I'm just saying, in my life, we all have issues, don't we? And if we lined them up, we probably, let's say there were 6 things in our life. You know, there's our family, there's our jobs, there's our this, there are things that are great, there are things that aren't so great. some people right now are really struggling with money and money worries. Been there, done that, and I know how horrific it is. And it's partly that led to my original breakdown. I am now in a blessed position in my life where I don't have to worry about money, but I worry about breathing, waking up, existing. None of us get it all, unless you're Kim Kardashian. I kind of feel like she's kind of got it all. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to try and I'm going to cut down the number of videos that I do. I'm going to try and change the format of some of them. I'm going to try and be a more thoughtful person for next year. What were the other things? There was a few other things I wanted to clear up. Oh, one of the ladies, I think it was on Tattle or somewhere, was sort of being a bit snidey about the fact that I won't name my oldest daughter. Now, it's quite simply this. I gave her a very unusual first name. She works in PR. No, is it PR? Advertising. PR. She works in advertising, and her actual contract with work says she can have nothing to do with any form of social media. So therefore I cannot give her name. It's not me trying to be mysterious. It's not me trying to say that she's working for the government and she's a secret spy. She's just a lovely girl. But it's in her work contract, so I can't, and I don't. It's my fault. If her name was Sarah or Jane, I probably could do it, but I gave her an unusual name, which makes it very, very difficult. Talking of them, talking of her, as you know, she's in New York. Christmas Eve, her husband went down with COVID. By Christmas Day, she had COVID, and unfortunately, their two visitors who came from Canada, which is her husband's brother and his girlfriend, they haven't seen each other for years, they've gone down with COVID. So they were meant to fly home today, back to Canada, and of course they can't. So they're all shut in a tiny New York flat, because you can imagine New York, they're tiny little flats. 4 adults stuck in a tiny New York flat. And of course the two girls don't know each other at all. I would imagine it's hell. But anyway, did that add some colour? Do you know, I don't know that did it add a bit of colour to my face? I always think it does, but maybe it doesn't. I'll use my City Bronzer, I think. Look how tatty this is. I love this City Bronzer by Maybelline. It's the best bronzer. That and, Laguna by NARS is the other one I love. But I mean, this one's far more, I've had it longer. Yeah, so they've had a bit of a Christmas. Yeah, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? Bless them. You see, and that's, you know, that's one of the difficulties, isn't it? We're living in such a funny time at the moment, because normally, you know, if somebody was ill, we'd be off round and delivering things. We can't do that. Not that I could, she's in New York, but you know what I mean? It's just a very funny feeling that people are ill and we know they're ill and we can't do anything about it. I tried to think if I've covered everything that I wanted to cover with you guys. It's broken. I love coming on here. When I started this, I actually started sitting at this very desk, or dressing table, hoping to make friends, and I've made so many friends, and you guys are amazing, but I've also made some enemies, and that didn't occur to me, and that just shows how kind of spacey I can be. It just didn't occur to me. I thought that if anybody came along, found my channel, looked at it and thought, what a stupid fat woman she is, you know, what's she talking about, they would just click and move on by. Because I mean, I go on YouTube loads and watch lots of people. Oh, look at that, it's run out. I watch lots of people, but yeah, occasionally I find somebody and I think, oh no, that person's not for me, that's not my kind of content, and that's exactly what I do. I click on by. Hang on, this might make all the difference. There you go. That's better, isn't it? One of my Maybelline, they call them ink crayons or something. Super Stay ink crayon. God, I rate these. Get them in Sainsbury's. Quite often they're on offer, and then they'll be about £7, but I think they're about 10 normally. And I've got them in just, hang on, I'll show you. I'm sure I've talked about these before, but I mean, here's the 4 that actually sit out on my desk. What was I saying? Yeah, I mean, it just didn't occur to me, and that again is it's my issue. But it did hurt me in the run up to Christmas. I didn't really know how to cope with it. It was all a bit much, and I do get very wound up about things like Christmas and birthdays and so on, because it's just a function of my anxiety. Is that if there's something to be anxious about, I will take it and I will turn it into this, you know, talk about molehills into mountains. You know, it's what I do. It's in the nature of the beast. So to have that happen as well, and I was feeling really guilty about the ladies I name dropped, and I'm feeling guilty about myself because, you know, like I say, some of the ladies were absolutely spot on. I should not have done it. I mean, you know, when he gave me all those calendars, I should have said, no, I'll do one. That's really lovely of you, darling. I really appreciate it. I'll do one. But I didn't. I thought, ooh, you know, never had all of these. Ooh. And I got completely carried away, and I was thoughtless. And I know that this next year is probably going to be really hard for lots of people. I mean, we've already had 2 really hard years, and it looks like this time it'll be more financial based, because inflation's done this, that and the other, and pensions have been held back, and you know, so I'm going to try and change a bit, try and do more how I dress, using the wardrobe that I have, show you some of the things I'm into, how I make some of these things work. But I'm still going to do hauls, I'm afraid. I like them. I like shopping. I worked it out, and I did three separate, well no, I had Lakiro, and I'd done 2 shopping hauls, clothes shopping hauls, looking for a dress for Christmas. So I'd had Lakiro, the kaleidoscope that you'll see soon, and I've done a J.D. Williams. But of the Lakiro and kaleidoscope, I kept one thing out of 14 items, I think it came to. So I'm not buying as much as you think I am either, because unfortunately, I don't suit everything, and I try things that I wouldn't normally try because I want you to see what I see. And sometimes I'm surprised and like it, and sometimes I hate it. Anyway, I'm gibbering on. I hope you've all had a lovely time. The kids had a whale of a time. Every picture of them has, unfortunately, snotty noses. We've had, you know, they've done their vomiting, and they've done their, you know, sneezing and snotting and coughing. So but they've thoroughly enjoyed it. And the only difference has been that they've all napped during the day. That's the biggest thing I noticed, is that, you know, the not being well, dragging them down. They've all ended up napping in the afternoon for an hour or 2, which the kids don't normally do. You know, kids, they're either on or they're off. And they've been on. I've had a terribly stiff neck. You're going to laugh. Well, I hope you laugh at this and don't think I'm being pathetic. But I was playing with the kids. This was in the run up to Christmas, and I was sitting on the stool. I got one of these suites that's got a stool, and I was sitting on the stool, and I was talking to Levi, who was on the sofa, and we were looking at something. He was showing me something, and my elder grandson, Milo, unbeknownst to me, he crawled across to between me and Levi, and I was sitting there, and I'm like this, because I'm looking at the thing. And he decided to jump up in front of me and go, rah, you know, or whatever. Well, he jumped up and he caught me under the chin, and he took my head back. My glasses ended up on the other side of the room. Honestly, I was seeing stars, guys. He's 5. He's made of bone. He's like his dad. He's a big boy, and he's made of bone. Even though he's 5, you know, he wears 6 and 7, sometimes 8-year-old clothes. He's a big boy, and that head came, and it literally, and I have had such a bad neck since, and I haven't said much about it to the family because, you know, I'm going to blame poor little Milo for something. He was leaping up to see his grandma, you know, there was nothing to it. But I think I've had to concede just lately. You know, hubby's been on at me. I think I've got a little bit of whiplash because my neck and my shoulders here, I'm waking up with the most shocking headaches, you guys. So yeah, any suggestions for ways to help that would be gratefully received, because I'm trying also, I'm sitting in funny positions, I'm doing all the yoga stretches that I know, I'm trying to, you know, but oh yeah, I had a couple of days where I was like this. It felt stiff, it felt, I mean my face felt bad because it had taken my jaw, but it was far more here. Anyway, I think I've covered everything. I look fairly reasonable, don't I? The only thing I will do now is put a tiny bit of mascara on just to open these piggy eyes up a bit, but I won't do it while I'm talking to you because I always think that's, ugh, anything with eyes, I'm not very good. And I'm going to put on, my necklace is wrong, pull on some clothes and trot on for the rest of the day. Oh, I did reply to one of you ladies who was saying about the fields. You're absolutely right, we're trying to finish that turnout field. We've been trying and trying, but something, and I don't know, maybe one of you ladies out there knows, something has gone on with stone, drainage stone, road stone, anything like that. I think when the pandemic was on, there was because the quarries shut, and there was a backlog, and they've been trying to fulfill the backlog. Well, I tell you what, trying to get the stone here, we've got all the bits, we've got the drainage tubes, we've refenced, but literally we are just waiting on the stone, and it doesn't matter where we try, we're having problems getting it. We've now been promised it, we were promised it before Christmas, we were promised it between Christmas and New Year, they'd do a delivery. We've now been promised it after Christmas, and there's nothing we can do. It's complete. Nothing we can do. As for Danny is a whole another thing that I don't really want to talk about here. I will at some point, I know I will, but that will be a sobby video. He is still here. But Danny the Wonder Horse is yeah, he's still here. But it's been quite awful over the Christmas. And then to cap it all, our beautiful Aurora, we've been not putting Danny out in the fields. He's been staying on the stable yard because he's old and he's tired and he's not well, and he can't cope with the mud at all. So we've been putting a great big bale of hay, haylage even, because it's better for him, on the yard. But he has to have somebody for company, because you can't put them there on their own, and then they can see their friends out in the field. Even though they can't cope with the field, you still can't do that, it's not fair. So he's had different people every day this week, but yesterday he had Aurora, who he thinks is his daughter, and bloody Aurora discovered that she could jump the gate and jump the fences, and we had an Aurora wandering up and down the drive eating plants, which was not really what we wanted. So I don't think it'll be Aurora again, but she was determined to get to the grass and get out and about and see things. So she jumped the fences. So we're probably going to have to put some fences even higher for her. I think she's going to be something special, that horse, I think. Anyway, look, I've chanted. I've got something like 10 hours worth of videos to cut through and cut back and try and make into some sense. I just want you to know that if you do like me and my channel, you know, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I probably don't say it enough. It means a lot to me, it really does. And if you have a problem with anything that I do along the way, doesn't matter what it is, if it's something that triggers something for you, something you think, oh, I wouldn't have done that, like some of the other ladies, don't be frightened to email me and say. I must admit, I get frightened opening emails. Honestly, you've got to be in the right mood to do it, because sometimes they're lovely emails, but I've had some really vile ones. And you know, like when there's a traffic accident and you're in your car, you're crawling along and you discover there's a traffic accident on the other side of the road, and you say to yourself, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. You look. And it's the same with vile emails. You open them, you start to read it, you get so far in and you think, oh Christ, this is an awful one, I'm not going to look at it, but you do. And it affects you. You're a human being, it affects you when people say vile things about not just me, but my husband, my kids, my grandkids, the way we look after our animals, who do I think honestly, some of it is horrific, and you get a bit gun shy. Do you know what I mean? You think, just fine, I'm going to sit down and do my emails now, and then you see that it's somebody you've never, you know, and there's usually some innocuous subject matter, and you think, will I? And you know, 9 times out of 10 you open it and it's something nice, or something constructive. Something constructive, don't have a problem with that. But it's that odd one. And I always remember that, you know, in Pretty Woman, she's in bed and she says, Julia Roberts' character says, have you ever noticed how easy it is to believe the bad things that people say about you? And it's true, because, you know, they're the things that wake you up at night. So yeah, I can get I can get a bit gun shy about opening emails. I just wasn't expecting it. I've been naive, I've been stupid, I've not calculated this properly, and I've learned a lot this year. And there was a question whether I'd even come back, because, you know, Abby was like, just quit, babe, you know, you don't get anything out of it, in the sense of, I'm not doing it for a particular reason, I was doing it for me. And initially I thought, he's right, that's what I should do. But my younger daughter sat me down and talked to me and said, you know, that from the so introverted, so massively introverted me that was before I started this, she has seen a difference, and she's seen how much pleasure it gives me to read the comments and things. And I don't answer comments very often. I'm sorry, I don't. I sort of feel like this is my side of the conversation, the comments are your side of the conversation. It's got to be something quite unusual for me to want to answer back, because generally I just think, yeah. Anyway, God, I've got to get dressed. I've got to do something with this hair. I haven't really, because there's nothing going on, so I'll probably let the hair dry naturally and be as curly as hell. And I've probably got, well, I know I've got quite a bit of ironing to do, so I shall probably be putting on a crappy film. I feel Harry Potter might be coming up this afternoon. And doing my ironing. And I hope you're all just chilling, relaxing, having a good time. Yeah. And do you think I look better? I think I look better. And that's three products. There'll be some mascara, so that would be 4, wouldn't it? So I mean, I'll show you them again in case anyone is curious. Why you would be, I don't know. But it's the Monu Skin Perfecting Tint. SPF 15, I mean, that's not worth having really. Medium. It's just soft focus with vitamin E and Cassia Alata leaf, and it does, it dries back, it soaks in, feels lovely. It's the Maybelline City Bronzer, which I think only comes in that colour. City Bronzer lasts forever. Packaging won't, but the product will. And then the lippy that I used this time was the Maybelline Ink Crayon in, and on glasses. I haven't said that yet, have I? Glasses. In Enjoy the View. And I don't put it on thickly, I haven't put it on thickly, just enough to give a little bit of colour. And then I'll use, probably because I am upstairs, for my mascara, I'll use, this is the expensive bit, is the Trish McAvoy. But as I say, I like Trish McAvoy, I like, oh, and this might be Kevin Aucoin even, not, yeah, this is the Kevin Aucoin. The Trish McAvoy, oh, I can't see that one. The Trish McAvoy one is all black. This is the Kevin Aucoin one. And then I have the blue MAC one, with best mascaras ever, I think. Anyway, that's it. So a video will be coming up with, next will be the draw. As I say, I'm doing 10. And followed on the same video, probably I'll put the kaleidoscope, because that's just been sitting there forever. It's either put it up or chuck it away, but I'll put it up because I bothered to do it. And I hope you're all great, and I'll see you really, really soon. Okay, bye guys.